Good evening. South Australia has sweltered through its fourth consecutive day of extreme heat. While we didn't reach our predicted top of 46, the heatwave is taking its toll. Our hospitals have treated 163 cases of heat-related illness since Monday. The CFS is fighting more than 20 uncontrolled bushfires and holds grave fears for tomorrow's extreme conditions. And our power usage is approaching record levels. In a moment, live to our reporters, but we begin our special coverage with how Adelaide coped with today's heat.
A hot start to an even hotter day. The beach proving popular early on. Families seeking shade wherever possible.
7:30 this morning I was here with my 3 grandchildren and we just got a nice cool spot under the jetty. It was beautiful and the water's lovely. Best place to be today.
But we thought this was more fun than air conditioning.
Come lunchtime, the climate-controlled shopping centres became more attractive.
We've shut the house up and we've come here to Elizabeth to watch a movie and have some lunch, and it's better than staying at home.
It's a bit of a shock after you get out the shopping centre.
Not all vehicles survive the oven-like conditions. The RAA in high demand.
It just died. I think it's the heat. I do fix things like the tractor at home, but this is different.
Workplaces were still open for business, albeit with a splash of summer inside.
Doing things like this and getting a little bit wet and that it's just the best way to actually beat the heat at work.
At Victoria Square, these tradies still under high pressure to meet their Tour Down Under deadline.
Drink plenty of fluids, that's the main thing, I guess. Keep hydrated and do the best you can.
Hosers also employed at Adelaide'S Zoo as its senior citizens experience some special treatment.
They really just want to be somewhere cool, in the shade.
Our power network held up better than expected. Thankfully, no planned outages were required. Falling tree limbs thought to be the cause of blackouts in several inner south and inner eastern suburbs.
I have a client, but I cannot cut his hair.
Remarkably, we're coping with the conditions much better than in 2009's heatwave. No lives have been lost due to the heat, but SA ambulance paramedics have been kept busy.
Since Tuesday, we've had anywhere between 100 and 150 additional incidents per day. Obviously, this takes its toll on the ambulance service. As a result, we've put on additional crewing.
This Avondale woman collapsed while carrying her shopping in the heat.
I crawled to my phone, phoned my husband, my son. They phoned the ambulance.
Authorities' attention now turning to tomorrow.
It's those periods of sustained high temperature where there is not the opportunity for people to recover in the cool of the night that does pose the greatest health risk.
In that sense, we may be reaching quite a dangerous phase in this heat wave.
And it's fair to say for the whole state, it's been a real scorcher. Our reporters have it covered from the city to the regions and the current state of bushfires across the state. First to Virginia Langerberg. Virginia, we might not have reached our high today, but it was still hot.
That's right, Kate. We didn't reach our forecast top of 46 degrees, but we still were the hottest city on the planet today, reaching 44.2. Now, the early signs were that we were going to reach that record top and get there quickly. The early signs were that we got into the 30s by sunrise, then hit the 40s well before midday. But that hottest day ever for Adelaide still stands since it was set back in 1939 on January the 12th.
Thanks very much, Virginia. Yes, incredible conditions. Well, live now to Elise Baker in Redmark, and Elise, temperatures there were forecast to reach nearly 50 degrees.
Yeah, that's right, Brenton. Residents have been hit with this extreme heat right across the state. And here in the Riverland, it's been one of the hottest areas, reaching 44.6 degrees around 2:40 this afternoon. But it could have been much worse. The Weather Bureau forecasts a top of 48 here today, one of the highest forecasts for South Australia. Even that wasn't enough to drive the locals and some holiday makers indoors, though.
Swimming, going behind the boat, skiing, just getting out in the water or in air conditioning as much as we can.
We've been playing in the water park and it's been really fun. Yeah, and going to the pool and skiing.
Oh, we're from Prince George, British Columbia, Canada, and right now at home it's about 0 degrees and we have about 3.5–4 feet of snow.
But not everyone was quite as brave. The local pub's becoming a very popular spot to hang out, and the heat was enough for some businesses to close up shop early. It was also an anxious day as residents watched the smoke from grass fires burning in nearby areas, but thankfully there's no real threat at this stage. And Renmark's in for another hot one tomorrow. No respite just yet, with 45 degrees on the way. Back to you.
Thank you, Elise. Well, despite today's soaring temperatures, firefighters have managed to stay on top of more than a dozen blazes burning out of control around the state. Sam Vardis joins us live from CFS headquarters.